Hi all, right, welcome to my new little video. I'm going to show you the inside, the interiors of a bespoke jacket, which some of you may not know actually how they're made up. So I'm going to just show you briefly the inside. I'm fortunate to be a fashion designer and a tailor, doing bespoke tailoring. And I love actually combining both methods in my work. So of course this is a pure bespoke jacket I'm making and for a customer, but I'm going to show you now the insides. So here we go. So you can actually see a few things. So I'm just going to briefly describe a few things. See this kind of here, this is what we call canvas. So this is fully canvas, this jacket is. In bespoke work, majority of actual bespoke tailors will actually fully canvas their jackets. And some modern tailors, they'll use like a fusible canvas. I think some of you may have seen me talk about interfacing with the fusible interfacing. So it's a very similar thing what modern tailors will use, but it's a thicker fusible canvas, and it kind of replicates this, but it's not. So this is what we call a full canvas here. It goes from the top right down to the hem. I'm sure I'll probably zoom in a little bit there. There we go. So, and then this kind of white, you can see this kind of white fabric here is what we call demet. Underneath there is other canvases. So depending on which tailoring companies you use or their methods, they'll use various canvases accordingly. They might use 1 layer, 2 layers, 3 layers, or whatever, depending on the thickness of the fabric. This is like about 14-ounce fabric, so it's not too light. So it's a kind of medium weight. Some people might say it's a little bit heavy, but anyway. So I've used 1 layer inside here. You can actually see it. Now this is made up of horsehair, and this is a horsehair chest canvas. I think they've mixed it with wool and I think cotton as well. And it's made of horsehair because it springs and it gives a lot of shape around the chest. And this white fabric on top is what they call demet, and that's basically to stop the kind of, traditionally anyway, it was to stop the horsehairs from poking through. Now you can actually see, I'm not sure we can see this. So before I go on to the pad stitching here, so I've got 1 layer, that's a full layer underneath a horsehair chest canvas. Then I've got another layer that's half, because I don't want to get it bulky. And then I've got the demet that sits on top. Okay, various companies will use maybe 2, 3 layers, even 1 layer, whatever, depending on how they go about actually making bespoke jackets, and also depending on how thickness some fabrics are for the jackets. So this section here, the chest piece, you can see it's all pad stitched here. It's all pad stitched there. And then this here is a piece of lining that actually hides the, it was cut up as a dart, so it gives it shape. So this is an actual chest dart here that's under there. So it gives the whole chest piece shape. Now here is what we call our lapel line. It's our break line here. It's where the actual lapel rolls over. Now it's flat now because I've actually pressed it, but I'm going to show you later on how to do this lapel pad stitching. These are roughly about 1 centimetre in length, these little stitches. And we pad the lapel, so it's called pad stitching. As we're padding it, as we go down, because there's lines that go down, then it goes up and goes down, goes up. So as we're going down and up, we actually roll the lapel with our hand, and it's the actual rolling, the stitching it actually shortens this fabric, the main fabric underneath, and it's the shortening of this as we stitch it along. It rolls it, and it will create a permanent actual roll. If I just do that, you'll see it actually comes back. See, so it rolls back. So that's why we do this. So we actually roll it, and because all jackets, the lapel actually folds back, and that's why we do that method. Okay, so and that's what we call pad stitching. So we pad stitch the chest and we do little small stitches for the lapel line. So now here you can actually, the middle of this is what we call the bridal line here, and we traditionally put lining here down the middle. It runs down the kind of middle of the roll line where it rolls over, and it's only there for really to stop your because it's on the bias, it's to stop stretching. So this is cut straight, this actual lining, so it's to stop the actual roll line, the braid line, what we call braid line, the actual lapel line, from stretching. So it just gives it stability. That's all that's there for. Okay. Now if we look to the end, the edge, this is what we call edge tape. Now traditionally a lot of bespoke tailors will use linen tape for the edge tape. Now I'm using bias binding which is made from lining. I learnt this technique from a great Irish tailor who worked on Savile Row for many years, and he's one of the best tailors, in my opinion, in the whole UK, the whole of Ireland, and he's a brilliant tailor. So I'm doing his technique, and the reason I'm doing this technique because using bias binding lining is because traditionally the linen is it can be quite bulky when you turn it through. I mean, a lot of tailors like the stability of that linen tape for the edge. That's why it's called an edge tape, you know, because we've got to put a facing on this and we turn it through, stitch it and turn it through. So there's going to be another piece of fabric that's going to be stitched and turned over. Okay, so actually I've got one here I'm going to quickly show you. I've just actually made that, you can see here. That's the inside. So that'll be stitched and that'll be turned over. Okay, so some tailors don't like the bulkiness, especially this great tailor. He doesn't like the bulkiness of the linen tape. So I've opted his way. I do like this way. So all this lining is cut on the bias, and then you've got to do like a big herringbone stitch to keep it in place. And that's it. So we've got our Cilicia pocket all tacked in on top of the canvas there. So I'm going to show you very soon. Actually, I think some of you have seen my one of my videos. I've cut out a big window pane check jacket, and I think some of you have seen me cut the canvas out. So I'm going to show you on my next video. I'm going to show you how to make the welt pockets. I'm going to show you how to make the jettings and the flaps, and I'm going to show you how to pad stitch as well. So just give you an idea of the skill involved in what goes into a bespoke jacket. And there is a lot of work that goes into bespoke work, about jackets and suits and stuff. But you know, it's good that you have a little glimpse into how it's done. So I'll see you soon on my next blog, and I'll just say thanks, ciao, see you later, bye.